Bohr atom model. Niels Bohr in 1913 modified Rutherford's atom model in order to explain the stability of the atom and the emission of sharp spectral lines. He proposed the following postulates. First one, Bohr's first postulate. Bohr's first postulate was that an electron in an atom could revolve in certain stable orbits without the emission of radiant energy, contrary to the prediction of electromagnetic theory. According to this postulate, each atom has certain definite stable state in which it can exist, and each possible state has definite total energy. These are called the stationary states of the atom. Second point, Bohr's second postulate. Bohr's second postulate defines these stable orbits. This postulate states that the electron revolves around the nucleus only in those orbits for which the angular momentum is some integral multiple of h upon 2 pi, where h is the Planck constant, that one is equals to 6.6 into 10 raised to power minus 34 joule into second. Thus, the angular momentum capital L of the orbiting electron is quantized. That is, capital L is equals to nh upon 2 pi. Third point, Bohr's third postulate. Bohr's third postulate incorporated into atomic theory the early quantum concepts that had been developed by Planck and Einstein. It states that an electron might make a transition from one of its specified non-radiating orbits to another of lower energy. When it does so, a photon is emitted having energy equal to the energy difference between the initial and final states. The frequency of the emitted photon is then given by h nu is equals to ei minus ef. Here nu is frequency and h is Planck constant, and the value of h is equals to 6.62 into 10 raised to power minus 34 joule into second, where ei and ef are the energies of the initial and final states and ei is greater than ef. Drawbacks of Bohr's atomic model. First point, the theory could not account for the spectra of atoms more complex than hydrogen. Second point, the theory does not give any information regarding the distribution and arrangement of electrons in an atom. Third point, it does not explain the experimentally observed variation in intensity of the spectral lines of the element. Fourth point, when the spectral line of hydrogen atom is examined by spectrometers having high revolving power, it is found that a single line is composed of two or more close components. This is known as the fine structure of spectral lines. Bohr's theory could not account for the fine structure of spectral lines. Fifth point, it is found that when the electric or magnetic field is applied to the atom, each of the spectral line is split into several lines. The former effect is called as Stark effect, while the latter is known as Zeeman effect. Bohr's theory could not explain the Stark effect and Zeeman effect.